The mower we use to cut the grass that is made into hay is broken, and so we barely managed to use it the last time we made hay. We soon need to make the second batch of hay, and if we miss that, we will not have enough food for them this winter.
So we do have a lot of equipment that actually cuts grass, like a lawnmower or an edge cutter. We have 2 of those, but we can't use any of them because we need the grass to be cut whole. And the only machine that we have that can do that is this 70-year-old machine. So this plays a crucial role in how we get the food for the sheep during the winter. So the last time we used this machine, it was a constant struggle to keep it going. Sometimes it just almost died, and other times it just gave full throttle by its own. And now this is actually not just a mower, it's a 2-wheel tractor. So the engine is so powerful here that if it decides to go on its own, I can't hold it back. And so it's a bit scary to drive a machine like that where you feel like you have absolutely no control at all. So it's soon time to cut the second batch of hay, and if we miss that time window, it will be too cold for us to dry it, and we don't have any other means to dry it than outside. So it's really important that when that time comes, this machine performs as it's supposed to. So we need to give it a workover. So there's many things wrong with this machine. For instance, this gasoline line is probably leaking more gasoline than it's actually putting into the engine. It also looks like this valve is leaking. The engine is full of rust. So I think it will be a lot easier to fault search on this machine if we start by washing it. This green sticky goo is almost impossible to clean off. So most of the grease is gone, and that took a really long time. We actually used the entire bottle of degreaser. And this is the powerful stuff for rims, so it's not the normal weak kind that you use on the car. So this really needed a wash. Now we have uncovered a lot of rust by doing this, so we need to treat this. But first, I think we are going to start taking things apart to see if we can find the reason why it's running so badly. So this gasoline hose is the first thing that we need to remove, because this is leaking really badly. But before I remove this, I think I will let out the rest of the gasoline in the tank. So after the fuel is finished draining, I think I will take apart the fuel tank and the air filter pack, because they need to be cleaned up and they need some new paint. So I do have a special rust paint that I'm planning to use on this machine, and it's a paint that contains zinc so that you can use it directly onto the rust without having a primer coating on underneath. No, it won't be showroom beautiful, but it will be protected, and that's what I'm looking for. So there was actually a small filter in the tank which I did not know about. And let's just say that it's not exactly clean. So this could be some of our problem. But we should anyway push on and see what we find. So it's time for us to continue. Now the next thing that we're going to do is to remove this cutting head and the gear, because it's a bit easier to work with the tractor if we take part by part. So this is not according to my plan. It wasn't supposed to rain today. I can't work on a machine with an open engine out here in the rain. So we need a plan B. So that leaves us with the option of using the basement. Now there are 2 problems with this. First off, it's really messy, as you can see. We need to clear out all of this mess. The second problem is that the mower don't really fit in the door because the wheels are too wide. So let's get to work. So several hours later, it's a lot better in there right now. I can actually find things on the desk now. I don't have to go and stumble in tools and things. And it's a lot easier to work then. So let's get started. So I've gathered some of the things that we took off the mower yesterday. And I think I want to start with the gasoline tank. This, we need to get rid of all the grease on it, and we need to brush off the most of the rust and treat it. So I'm guessing that much of the problems that we are experiencing is probably due to this piece. So the way this works is the gasoline go in by this tube, and it runs up into a nozzle here, which is spraying the fumes into the air intake. So there could be something in here, so I'm thinking that we will first clean this and then take this apart. So there we go. It looks a lot cleaner now. So let's open this and see what we have. This also works as a gasoline pump. You could push down this to pump gasoline if you are having trouble starting the machine. So I'm guessing that this is the float and that it's going to float up to shut some valve. No, I don't know if that's working or not, but we could actually blow into it and see. So that works. So I think also that these rings are actually leaking. I don't know if I have anything I can replace them with, but we will see. Okay, so this one works. So this is actually also a filter. There are some debris in here. So how many filters does this machine actually have? So I need to see if I have a replacement for this. This is actually rock hard, so I'm guessing it's not doing its job anymore. So let's attempt this again. So this is the nozzle and it's completely open. Now I am a bit amazed that this machine does not use any more gasoline than it actually does. Because this is not spraying at all, it's just leaking straight in. So there could be some cloggage in this end. So I will see if I can get this out of here. These are just completely brittle. They are so hard. So I will see if I have some replacements for these. Because these won't do their job anymore. So there is a hole in this. I can attempt to blow it out with some air. Let's see. So I've cleaned out the filter. I did not have the exact same type of gasket, but I do have one which will probably fit. So let's get this back together. So the next thing we're going to have a look at is this gasoline valve. I'm guessing there is some sort of filter system as well in the bottom of this. And so this could be where the cause is. Also, this is leaking like crazy. But first we need to wash it. Okay, so I've cleaned it, so it looks a lot better now. Let's pop off this hose. So we will continue by opening this bowl here and see what's inside. So as long as I've had this machine, I've never actually opened this, so... Well, there is a filter here. And this does not look clean at all. I do also want to open this up and see how it looks. I'm guessing that this connects the inner piping in this part when it turns. So that makes me wonder, because this part probably also would need replacement. I think we will just need to clean this and add some oil and see if we can make it last, because I don't have anything like this. I would need to make it. So let's remove this filter
and see if we can clean this a bit. So there is a cork gasket or something inside of this, and it's an absolute nightmare to get out of there. So finally I managed to get it out of there. I think it was some sort of paper gasket. Now I only need to see if I have something that I can replace it with. Now I'm going to take a chance here that these actually can handle gasoline, and I will see if there is something with about the same size. So the gasket is in place, and I've cleaned out the filter by compressed air, and I've also cleaned out the bowl. And with the new O-ring now, this should actually seal. Oh, I don't think it used to. So I managed to find some gasket material, but I'm not really sure if this is gasoline resistant. But I'm guessing that we will find out. So it also stopped raining, and that means that we can work outside. And the next piece that we are going to tackle is this gear. Now the two-wheel tractors had a lot of different equipment so that you can use it for different kind of things. And this equipment is a gear that turns the round motion over to a back and forward motion, and that's to drive the scissors when you're cutting grass. Now this piece is quite rusty, as you can see. It's also supposed to be green originally, so I think we want to bring it back to a green color. And this plate is supposed to be red, so I will also see if I have some red paint. But before we can start to paint this, we need to treat all of this rust inside. And that means that first we need to wash away all the grease, and we need to sand down as much of the rust as we can and treat it with something. So I'm thinking that I will use the same silver zinc paint that we used to treat the rust on the gasoline tank on this. So let's get to it. So while we wait for all the other parts to dry, we can start to prep this machine. There is also some parts that we still can take off and paint, like the crank handle. So we need to wash off all the grease because it needs to be completely clean. And then we're going to grind off all the loose rust and give it a coat with the silver spray to treat all the rust. And after that, we will give it a final coat with the green spray. And that will bring it back to its original color, because this is actually supposed to be green, not gray. So let's get to it. So I ran out of paint before I managed to finish the job, and this happened. Rain,
So much rain. So, can you see what's over my head here? Blue sky. It's about 1 week later and it's been raining and raining and raining, but today it's going to be a nice and sunny day. But only today, because the next week is also going to rain every single day. So we have one window, and that's today, to get this entire machine finished painted and get all the parts back together and test drive it, so that we know that it's ready for the next time we are going to cut hay. So there is no time to waste, so let's just finish this. So it's been a few hours since we painted it and it feels dry, at least dry enough to work on. Now ideally we would wait a few days, but we don't have that long until the rain comes again. So we'll start by peeling the masking tape and see how it looks. So the peeling job is finished and I'm actually quite happy with the result. It's not showroom perfect, but it's more than good enough for what we are going to use it for. And that's normal farm work, so I'm happy about this. Now we just need to put everything back together and hope that it starts. And I don't think we have that much time because the clouds are getting darker and darker, and I've been feeling raindrops now actually for some time. So let's get to it. So all the old parts are now back on this machine, and technically, if we have done it correctly, we can start it now. But I have also bought some new parts because we did have some issues. And for those of you that remember, there wasn't actually a handle on this side because the old handle had more or less disintegrated and I just wrapped some duct tape around it. So I bought a new handle. Although this is for bicycles, we will see if we can use this and if it fits. And also I broke the clutch handle that was supposed to be here, and so we have been using the brake handle as clutch. Now that's a big problem because the throttle is also on this side and it's difficult to clutch and throttle or give gas on the same time. So I bought some new handles. Now these are actually also for bicycles, but I hope that they will fit, but we will see. So the handle didn't work out. It was a brake handle for bicycles, so it was a long shot. But it was what I found in the store when I was there. So I will need to have a look online and see if I can find something else. So the only thing left now is to fill this up with some gasoline and see if it runs. So my plan now was to take this out for a run, but the engine is still not working as it should. There is something wrong with it, it won't idle. If it runs on lower speeds, it just wants to die. And now I know that there is no cloggage in the fuel system all the way. I know that there is no cloggage in the air all the way. And so at least we have eliminated a lot of things. And it could be something really simple, because I know that the kill switch is having some problem, and it can actually just be that this is short-circuiting and that it won't actually stay running unless it has a really high RPM. But I don't really have any more time now. It's really late now, I'm really tired, and tomorrow and the next week after that it's going to rain. So we will wrap this up for now. And if you want to see another of our videos, take a look at this one next. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.